So, hi everyone. I very often get the question who I think is the best Liszt performer or Chopin performer, or who is my favorite pianist, or who is my favorite composer. Well, there I am with a list of 9 of my favorite Liszt performers, and I think there are 9 of the best Liszt performers of all times. They are in the order of just how they came in my head. There is no really preference, or no, I don't think the first one is the best one or the last one is the best one. It's just how they came up, but maybe it's a sign in which order they came up to you to decide. And let me know at the end if you have any other. Actually, I could have made the list longer, but I thought like, yeah, okay, I have to choose 9, which one I would choose, and I thought this one is the 9 I prefer. I think are the closest to the way Liszt would have liked to hear his work, or how I think you should play Liszt. Being a Liszt performer, that's my opinion, right? But let me know yours. I'm always interested in other opinions. So number 1 is, of course, for me, György Cziffra. And I always chose one piece I think they are playing in a more interesting way, right? And Cziffra actually was interesting for his etudes, his rhapsodies, which is incredible how he's playing this. Now, I think Cziffra plays a bit more muscular. Maybe Liszt was not playing like this, but it's a way I like. So the first one is La Muette de Portici from Auber, transcription of Liszt. Because there are recording of this and it's mostly boring. This one is not. Cziffra really has this power, this strength, I like it. So that's probably his. So it's I once was sight reading this piece. It's a really difficult piece because it's boring if it's not getting exciting, right? So by the way, I will link all the videos there under the video. I will, yeah, all the. Sometimes it's like YouTube music, sometimes it's YouTube videos. So the first one was Cziffra. The second one is Krystian Zimerman, generally one of my favorite pianists too, like Cziffra and Horowitz. And I think Zimerman plays Liszt in a very different way than most of people. Like this is the first piano concerto. He recorded both and Totentanz with Seiji Ozawa. So I like with Zimerman, he plays Liszt like no other people play Liszt. He doesn't go for virtuosity or fast effects, he goes for intensity, like he's playing the stuff and he's doing like what's written in the score. In the first piano concerto he's even adding an arabesque or a trill somewhere where it's not written, which is in the spirit of Liszt. That's super difficult. That's really difficult. And there are not many people doing this like this. Argerich is doing this, Berezovsky. So then you realize also Zimerman is not being known to be a virtuoso pianist, like, you know, this incredible technical pianist like Cziffra or Volodos, but actually he is, like, when you listen to his list, you think, oh my God, like, that's incredible. So another really interesting version to listen. And second piano concerto too, of course, too, it's beautiful. Number 3 is Boris Berezovsky, and he's actually famous for having played the 12th Liszt Etude live, making an incredible version in La Roque d'Anteron, it's a French festival. So there I chose number 12, Chasse-Neige. So he's doing this whole stuff with one hand, which is really tricky, just helping a bit with the left hand. Completely wet in sweat from the whole performance. And he's a big guy, so he always looks easy and relaxed when he plays. It's not perfect, there are like some mistakes, it's a live performance, but it's one of the amazing ones. I would say also Liszt, the thing is the 12 etudes in once, which is really happening. His studio recording is a bit less, it's a bit more careful. It's nice too, of course. Actually, so the next one, number 4, is Hamelin playing his second Rhapsody. So Hamelin did some recordings of Liszt, etudes, for example, the Norma transcription paraphrase is amazing, played by Hamelin. You have Harmonie poétique et religieuse, Bénédiction de Dieu dans la solitude, he's playing these two, he's playing concert etudes and stuff like this. But then there's this video recording of the second Hungarian Rhapsody when he's doing his own cadenza. And the Rhapsody is amazing, but then his cadenza is like mind-blowing. Let me try to find it. There you have it. And there starts the Rhapsody, the cadenza. Worth watching also, not only listening. Hamelin is, by the way, also a composer. He composes nice stuff. Doing it the Spanish way. This was also a bit like his 19th Rhapsody. So worth listening. This is just crazy. Like these places. It's a whole building up of craziness. It's quite impressive. Number 5, of course, Horowitz was a famous Liszt player. He played like etudes when he was young. He played actually Mazeppa and Feu Follet quite often when he was young. And some reminiscences like Hexameron, for example. And there is actually a quite unplayed piece from Liszt, Scherzo and March, S177. And that's also a really nice piece. The march at the end, he's doing really well. He has this like subtle touch that's really making it nice. So again, Horowitz and these players, when they play Liszt, it's not boring, which is very often the problem with people who play Liszt. Crazy piece too. So yeah, it's like my problem with people playing Liszt, it's very boring. Like they try to get orchestral when it's not. I don't think Liszt is always orchestral when it's playing piano, when it's piano pieces. Or they don't have the technique to play it, and then it gets heavy and low and slow and boring. The next one actually is also one like this, and very close to Horowitz is Volodos, of course. He has a Liszt CD recording at Sony, which is just probably the best Liszt recording ever. Also he chose different pieces from different periods, playing them all incredibly intuitive, free, like natural. And he's adding a lot of stuff, like Horowitz did. So and one of his great is the Vallée d'Obermann, where he's adding a lot of stuff which make the piece even more interesting. And then he can sing stuff like it sings, it's nice, beautiful. Then, of course, Yunchan Lim, one of the latest Liszt player who played the 12 etudes in not only in the concert but in competition, in a new way, like a new, very intensive way. He plays every etude in a just incredible way, and he played them all together, which is again like a real performance, a real challenge. He actually also recorded the second Année de Pèlerinage, also a very nice way to play it. with the Dante sonata. So then, of course, also Argerich, which I compared to Liszt in another video. She plays also the first piano concerto, incredible version. She's more speedy, energetic pianist, I find, and I think that's the way Liszt was. Actually, I would say I prefer Cziffra than Argerich in Liszt, although it's the same level. But I think Liszt playing was closer to Argerich than Cziffra. And then again, it raised the question, you don't have to play like the composer wanted to play to be a good performer. You can have a new way of performing stuff. That's nice too. Or that's great too, right? But I think Liszt was more close to Argerich's way of playing. I know people didn't agree because there's discussion that Liszt was playing slow, he liked slow stuff. Bullshit. Liszt, there is no pianist who plays slow or who plays fast. You play fast when it's needed, you play slow when it's needed. You just adapt your tempo to what's needed in the score. And when it needs this excitement, sometimes that you have in Liszt, you just do it. And sometimes fast is giving you this excitement. And Argerich is doing this, right? She's a great musician. Yeah, this is Funérailles from Liszt. And of course, Argerich is known for her incredibly light octaves. And there you have a very difficult place with octaves on the left hand. Starts with single notes, still single notes, building up the tension. Soon comes the octave, and the right hand is tricky too actually, these chords. Now the octaves. So in this you have to hold a long time, these octaves. And again, like, I hear the critics coming like, oh yeah, Liszt said, you know, in the Polonaise from Chopin with the left octaves, also same kind of stuff, that he didn't want to hear fast octaves, he wanted to hear horses running in the Polish steppes. Well, that's what Argerich is doing. Like, he didn't say, play it slow, I want to hear the horses. As he said, don't play it only slow with no musicality. It can be fast if you want, but it needs to be musical first, right? And Argerich is doing this musical. She's not like just doing a journey exercise there, right? And then the last one of my list is Kissin. He plays, of course, everything, but he's known for his fastest version of the fifth Etude Feu Follet. One of the fastest, I mean, and again, it's fast, but it's incredibly musical. Kissin is an amazing musician, right? I'm not a fan of speed for speed, but I'm a fan when music and speed are combined, right? And there, it's a piece, it's Feu Follet, it's little flames that they are very quick, so the piece is about being quick and being fiery, right? And that's what he's doing. So of course the interesting bit is the difficult part with these double notes that's coming soon. It's coming now. So it's just super light, natural, clear, super crystal clear. Balance, left hand is really great. The accents are in the right place. You get the dynamic, and then you have this left hand that comes bump it, bump it, bump. That's even better. So yeah, this was my list of 9 of the best. I have to say which one I'm not a big fan of is Claudio Arrau, for the reason I just said before. It's boring the way he's playing. Now, I think Arrau was a better pianist when he was young and he studied with a student of Liszt, so it's always like Arrau is the best Liszt player. I don't think so. I actually really dislike him even, and I get super bored when I hear him. I know he's a great pianist. I'm speaking of top level pianist, right? He's a top level pianist, of course, and I'm not close to what he's doing. But if I have to listen to all the other one, I would put him really far down in my list. Maybe it's personal, we can discuss on this, like we can debate this. I'm really not a great fan. And I think that's one of the pianists also that don't help Liszt. He's doing interesting stuff, I agree, but I think Liszt is a fiery pianist. He was when he was young, he was a bit less when he was old, but then he wrote different pieces when he was old. His pieces that he wrote when he was young needs to be concert pieces. And Liszt was a showman, was a concert beast. The pieces need to be like this, right? If you want to play intellectual stuff and more calm stuff, then play Bach and Brahms, for example. Then Liszt is not this type of pianist. You have to accept the type of personality Liszt had. Give me your opinion in the comments. If you have another pianist you thought is great, maybe I forgot one. There are so many. Hope you like it and see you next video.